Good afternoon, YouTubers, subscribers, and friends and like. I believe it's April 18th, 2026. This is Grant Travels coming at you from Des Moines, Iowa. I'm in a utility box truck, a cap ride maybe, or something that's from Rockport, as you see right there. They make different kinds, but the wind is up a little bit, so we'll see how this video goes. I usually do a post trip and clean the windshield and fuel it up for the next morning, but last night I was too lazy after driving 400 miles straight. So it's not in the best condition at the moment, but thought I'd make a video. Has the outside compartments. This would be a great vehicle to live in, van life wise, because you can just click the thing. And everything is remote access on your key fob, or those gray keys right there, the smaller gray key, are manual keys that unlock these partitions at the door itself. If you just want to unlock one thing, and say you have sketchy people on the other side living in their car or something that you don't want accessing your partition, when you click the key fob, you could just use the gray key instead and enter any one of these partitions from the gray key, which is kind of nice. Or if you're fine with the whole thing being unsecure on both sides, you just click the unlock button twice. Unlock once only unlocks the driver's side door. Unlock twice unlocks everything, including all the partitions. And then, like I say, they have really big partitions. If I was living the van life, I would take this this fridge out, this shelf out, take this secondary, this cut out here, and put in a fridge that you can load from this side and use on the inside. It's the way I would do it in terms of a thingy. I'm not exactly sure how you open the second partition up. You don't just pull it. I'd have to learn how to do that. I should have done that before I did the video. 1 second here, I'm gonna look. It's got a second cord. Oh, you pull on the little cord. So to open the second wall up, you pull on the little cord here. And that opens the second one up. But anyway, I put a fridge in there that has the front-facing door here, so you can go up to Walmart or Target or wherever, shop, put your food in there, and then the wall that's in the back I'd have cut out, and you'd have another fridge door. They make these fridges that have doors on both sides, and I would buy that and put that in there. And if I could not find that, I would buy the cooler type of fridge that has the top open and then still have the cut through so that you can access the fridge cooler from the inside. And that's how I'd make a fridge work in a partition van. Ooh, this one doesn't work. Huh. That one is locked and is not responding to the cutout. 1 second. So the film is raw as you get, you know. You're learning this as I am, because I did not come through expecting any of these extra problems. So 1 second here and I will see. Oh, I don't know if this partition even opens. They might have this secured from the inside so that during transport it won't fall down on you or something, but these are supposed to open. Telling you to unlock. Careful, this one does. It's just a little tough. I would make a deal here, since it doesn't have it. I would make the hinge deal that holds it level right there, because then you have a full cooking surface that you could use, and then you store whatever you're cooking on in there, you know, coffee maker, stove, air fryer, whatever, in there, and then pull it out to the counter to use it in a grill, etc. To use it, and all that would take is putting on those basic cable deals that hold that down level, so that that thing's not allowed to drop all the way down. As a work van, it's allowed to drop all the way down, so it's out of your way, so you can access the cupboards and behind it easier. But I would very easily make that a modifiable kitchen. Then you have this back one. If I could find a standalone fridge, I would put it in the back one like this, I think, because it would fit better, but that would be a bigger fridge compartment. As is, you could use this as like your gym bag area where you keep all your clothes and whatnot. And when you come back from using the gym, shower time and whatnot, when you're living in a van, you go to use Anytime Fitness gym and then the shower, you can easily store your stuff right there in the corner, as they say. Solar panels would be on top, probably on top of a ladder rack, and you can see how the built-in ladders are already set up. Has shelving, has ladders that allow you to get up top. And then the deal up there that's allowed, that is set up as a rack already, kind of. So easy access up top. You can also use this to mount cameras and whatnot on the top section. And the thing about this work truck is you put cameras on the sides of this and it's not going to look anywhere out of place versus when you put cameras on other stuff. Right now I'm in what will be a construction zone. You can see they put the construction tower thingy here to build stuff here, and then they made the parking lot, or the section parking, but they haven't built nothing on it yet. Decals are supposed to be on the door. Technically that's lawful as long as I can see around it. The DOT could say that's blocking your vision though too, technically. So it's kind of iffy there, here or there, but with the wind and the rain, a lot of times with these vehicles I just run it with them in the window. But I'm just showing you what it would be like to live in one of these things. It does have the sticker from the factory ready to go on it, which says, like I say, this is, total raw footage you're getting. I'm getting it, I'm showing you as I'm reading everything, so there you go. If I don't see it, you'll see it. But price information, we're looking at $43,805 subtotal, and then $45,000 plus some extras, $6,000, give or take, depending on whatever extras you want, because you can add in backup camera or not. You can add in all sorts of special like radio dealios in there or not on the dash and whatever. You can come, the cab comes with all sorts of stuff extra. If you are light footing it 65 mile an hour, this will get 9 miles to the gallon. If you're really heavy on it and passing people in traffic and everything, it'll get about 8 miles to the gallon. So it's not the most fuel efficient thing in the world, but what it lacks in fuel efficiency, it makes up for in storage space, both inside and outside. If you're young enough, you can sleep on this shelf and not. I know I could sit down the shelf because I sleep sideways, but I'm 43 and so I'm not young enough to jump up on that thing. Not gonna be me doing that. So I would put my cot size bed about the size of that sleeping bag right about there. That way when you're in the cab, you can open the door and throw your food here or whatever, your daily stuff, and use your bed as kind of the emergency junk drawer, so to speak, taking your stuff to wherever you need it to be. So that's where I would put the bed. I would probably end up taking a shelf out, or a portion of a shelf out, to put a TV up in here, would be my guess. Just so I could have a bigger TV. Probably, since there's two different shelves there, probably take this portion out, be my guess. Then it does have these door catcher deals. This is your partition into your kitchen. I don't know if you can really see it or not, but that's the drawer we were at just a little bit ago, where I was saying to fold that down and you can access the kitchen. So you could do it in such a way where you built this up on one side as a shelf or whatever, to where if you were in a chair, you could take the stuff out and cook there, or obviously take it up here, right up to your built-in shelf, and cook your food for the night or whatever. And it's handy because you can get right to it. Then, like I say, if I had a stand-up fridge, cut that corner out, or cut that corner out, leaving the sides, but make a cutout so you can access it from inside or outside very easily. Easy to do that with a grinder and whatnot. Cut it out. And you can put your gym clothes in there too, you can switch stuff out, you can change, put it in that bag that you're going to go into the gym with and whatever, if you just take one side and cut it out. I don't think I'd cut out both sides. I'd have one where it's outside only, and the other side of the truck where it's combined for both. Because if I left one side not cut out, then I could insulate at least one good side of it, and the top and whatnot, because I have room. I barely have room. I have probably about a foot worth that you could insulate on top if you needed to. The only thing that I liked about that last regular box truck that I took that I didn't video, because it's just literally a basic box truck, is it had a metal roof. This does not. This has your see-through daylight roof. I mean, it's good and it's not. I mean, it would show you when it's daylight and not. And when you wake up, you know, you can see daylight, daytime, you know, it's already daylight. Versus, you know, of course, it's dark. This will be dark in here. But, so I'd keep a portion of it open, but maybe only one of them, just to show me the day or night. And then I'd close the rest of it up. Because I don't need it to be daylight or night in here and necessarily see what I'm doing. But I'd probably put like two bars in this light. This one I'd keep regular. These two I'd seal up. These two on this light I'd seal up. These two around this light I'd seal up. These two around this light I'd seal up. Those two would be regular. This one would be open. So that either side of it is kind of has light at least in here, but I wouldn't do the whole roof that way. If I was living in it, I'd rather insulate it from the sun and the heat and the cold and whatever on the roof, and then I'd insulate at least one good side. Probably figure out how to insulate around the opening cutouts that I use on the other side. This door also has an extra door that'll give you 2 or 3, 6, 7 more inches on it. And that's the other reason that I would leave my bed here. And the bed would not go out much further than where my sleeping bag is, so that way I have an easy walk through that I'm not hitting the bed on. But that door would expand, and then I would put a recliner that has a swivel on it and probably bolt it into the floor right there so it doesn't move. And that recliner would allow me to have easy access to look outside when you want to open the door and look outside. And then I'd have a TV here, like I say, that you can recline back and watch TV from. And then the reason why I'd also put it on the side is this is your control for the lights. Door lock, unlock. Just like on the key fob, I have a hand control right here that controls the whole truck, locking and unlocking, which is handy, just like you would have at the driver's side. And then this one is your inside light. Comes stock with the unit. This one is your outside light. That's up there that you can't see, but it's your outside daylight working lamps. There you kind of can see it. At night you can see it way better. But that way, if anybody's messing around with the truck, all you gotta do is lean up and hit your lock and lock if you wanted, or if you hit the lock and lock at night, it will show all the lights of the truck. They automatically go off. And then if you wanted, or if you knew it's in the back of your rig or something, you can use that outdoor patio light. And of course, while I'm just sitting someplace, I can use that outdoor patio light if I wanted to, and use this as my patio. So this is a handy rig. I thought about living in one of these a long time ago, but I'd have to have 50 grand up front just to make it possible, because I don't want to go into debt that far. But if someone had no problem going into debt, or they had that kind of money sitting around, 50 grand right out the bank. If you want to buy a new one, used ones are obviously cheaper than that, but you want to buy it brand new and insulate it and everything, the price tag back there said 46, and then you figure putting in about 4 grand worth of stuff into it easily. Just the stuff, the kitchen stuff, the fridge, the solar, the batteries, the insulation, all that'll be about 4 grand, give or take. But you could live in this for pretty, 50 grand, not bad at all. So I'm just putting it out there for people who are interested in this type of utility box truck living. I think I'll name it that, as a utility box truck living, so you guys can get the gist of it. This has lock shut, lock open if you want. By just hitting it, which is nice, because then it's locked open and won't go slamming shut on you, and you have to literally put pressure on that to get it to do anything else. And then it does have the manual lockout, like deadbolt lock on it, which is also nice. I have a little bit of trash there that I've got to clean up. That's my paperwork for this unit. Technically that decal is supposed to be in this window, and most of the time I put it back on that window when I'm running, so that I have even decals on both sides. But a lot of times I stick it up there and out of my way so I can use that driver window when I'm going. But I like how this has the full walk-through cutout. Some of your box trucks do not. So if you're looking at just buying a basic box truck, a lot of times those box trucks will only have the cutout almost crawling size, where it's the top of this thing is right here and you have to crawl through to get to it. And then you also could make use of this top rail thing if you jury-rigged a way to not have stuff hit this that much, because that's as permanent as it looks, and it is hard I don't, you know, you have a hole right here. I don't know if you see it. Yeah, kind of have a hole there. But if you built that hole up or something, so stuff don't fall out on either side, you could use this for storage too. If I were to do that, I would not go past where the edges of this thing is, because that's, you know, the space they've given you to crawl through as a pass through, so that it's not in your way. But you could have a bunch of storage up there for different stuff. If I really wanted to, I would have a CB and a ham radio and stuff like that you can access while driving right here in the front part. Partitions, it's nothing much else will fit there. And you can easily use it while you're driving. Just ideas. It's an interesting concept. I do like these things. The only downside to this whole entire vehicle is if you're feather lighting it on the interstate 62 or 65 mile an hour and watching what you're doing in the wind and whatever, you can make about 9 miles to the gallon. If you're gunning it down the interstate, passing people and whatnot, this thing will max out at 86 miles an hour, but I would not suggest using 86 the entire time, because you're going to get even less mileage than that. But the mileage that I recorded at 75, passing some people in 70 mile speed limit, doing 75-ish for some of that time, and I just wanted, because that last hour I wanted to get here. After doing 400 miles, I finally gave up on slow riding and drove a little faster that last hour to get to Des Moines last night because I was tired. And anyway, 75 got me 8 miles to the gallon. So the best you're probably going to get is 9.5. Really watching what you're doing, really slow, you know, maybe in town, blah, 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 you get 9.5, 10 miles a gallon if you're only in town kind of deal. And then if you're really on it, you'd get 8 miles to the gallon or less if you'll go clear up to 86 miles an hour if you want. Because I had to test it out and see where it bottles. Hate to say it, but I wouldn't say all the vehicles, but a lot of the vehicles I test out to see where their top speed is, you know, because you're just curious. I don't do it for that long. But you know, it's curiosity kills the cat, so to speak. And you always wonder what they top them out at, and this one tops out at 86. And if you were to continually do that, which I don't, because obviously I don't want that speeding ticket, but if you were to continually do that, you'd probably get like 6 miles a gallon, give or take. And so the average comes out to $100 worth of fuel for 300-mile range is roughly what you get. So every 300 miles, you have to spend $100 in fuel. So it is a little bit expensive in terms of the fuel for van life, but if you were just wanting to use this locally and not drive around as much and just use this as an in-town van life type vehicle, this would work great for a local in-towner that only goes to their town and the 2 towns over from where they're at, and that's all they ever really plan on doing, maybe taking a trip in the summertime, that's it. This kind of vehicle would work out great for that. But fuel economy wise, you were to live in it all the time, that would be a little bit iffy. Ooh. Watching what I was doing there because I didn't have a hand on the handle. And my old ass would go falling down, and I'm sure it'd make it for a funny video, but didn't happen. So that's what I would do. Fridge, almost likely because of how big it is and easier to work with. If I could get a fridge to work, I'd fit it in there and then use my clothes and stuff here, because that way as you're coming out of the driver's side, it's more convenient every day. But then your kitchen, outside grill, stuff like that. And you have options on both sides, you know, same thing on the other side. Is a pretty interesting unit, Rockport. Pretty tall, like you saw. I still have a good, I think, 6 inches or something to the top from my head in there, so you're able to work it out of the thing if you work as a carpenter for a living and then live in it or whatever, you know. And then the fact that you have the door and the little extra door that you can use every now and then to fit stuff like a recliner in there if you want to haul stuff in there. It does have the ladder racks built in to go on top of the roof. Make use of the roof if you want. You can't really walk around on the roof too much. That's why they have those 3 thingies, and they have a little metal beam going down the middle. That's for you to walk on, because the roof is not very, whatever you call it, very sturdy to walk on. But you can always fix that by putting like a portable deck on top of it or something like that, so you can walk on, or have your solar panels up there. I personally would just have solar panels up there but you still have to get up there to clean them every now and then, so it's nice to have that middle metal beam that you can walk on and crawl on to get up there to clean them. And I would probably put my power bank somewhere, probably in that other middle thing that I don't, you know, that side I have the pullouts, and so this side I probably have the power bank running down to that middle one, that hole right there that you open up. And then you can, that way you can access it from the inside and stuff like that if you needed to, or run cords. And obviously, since I'm not taking this side out, I'd probably have various different electric sections where you have DC and AC power and all that along this other side, since I'm cooking. And then I have one on that side since I'm cooking on that side. That's just to have the outlets for user access. But anyway, I hope you liked the video tour of a utility box truck for possibly living in. Like and subscribe, leave comments. I'll catch you in a flip. Peace.